Revelation 905. From the 8th of May 1939. The task that requires the free will of man. You shall hear what shall give you comfort. To establish the living connection with the Father of the universe is only granted to a few, and these few are chosen by me to fulfill a great mission. Very often people have the need to enter into direct connection with me, and I always consider them according to their worthiness. And this again is dependent on the degree of love desire for me. And so I seize with all force whoever can sacrifice worldly desire for my sake, because they are closest to the state of liberation from all matter. Now it goes against my will when all and everyone feels called to hear the divine voice, who is still very far away from me in the heart. But it is again completely wrong to reject all announcements of such kind, because those stand in unbelievable self-conceit who believe to know me and my work so exactly that no intervention on my part seems possible to them. So many weak beings certainly have to fear the danger to be influenced by spirit beings, who turned away from God, but then a certain earthly interest will always be the basic evil. However, who renounces everything earthly in the will to serve me, he will also never ever have to fear to establish a wrong connection, because I protect such earthly children from error and evil influence. And I want to give you to consider how extensively divine love has revealed himself to you. Behold, worlds can pass away before such a task can be solved, which requires the free will of man and at the same time to withstand all resistances from outside. Again and again people want to destroy themselves what my love wants to build up for them. And I cannot force people through extraordinary evidence which would put their will under compulsion. A completely free will must complete this work. It must, as it were, defeat the world by being stronger than all temptations of this world. Again and again people waver in faith, and yet only a strong rock can let the living water flow out. And the rock must be exposed to such considerable onslaughts and must resist them. Only then this rock can open and the source of truth can spring from it. There are certainly many called to it, and it is right for me every earth child who submits to my will, but none of them withstands when the temptations approach from outside. And therefore the faith is weak. They want to put me to the test and thereby confess their lack of faith, and if I do not give people extraordinary grace, they become discouraged, and they leave me, and the misery on earth becomes constantly greater and more threatening. And those awakened by me are weak and timid. And one believes to serve me by trying to turn my workers against me. And I remember them especially now and want to let them participate in the work of my love. And this is how they reward me my love. My children can no longer recognize my love, they seek me far away, while I am very close to them, and they attach such infinite importance to grasping my word with visible gestures, and yet they are bearers of this word and are to proclaim my deep love for mankind. And I consider them with great strength because they are active according to my will and bring sheep to me in great numbers, but they still do not grasp the depth of my love. They erect a barrier between themselves and the world. They also do not let the few who are of the same mind over this barrier, but refuse them entrance. And my love has to watch and cannot intervene helpingly because the will of man is free and must not be touched by me. The misery of the souls is unspeakable, and therefore I give my word anew, and this to those who were unconscionably abandoned to the arbitrariness of those who withheld the book of the fathers from the people. Thus I constantly consider the ones who are mine, that is who love me and in this love, ask for me. And I pay no attention to the laws which men make for themselves and from which they now do not want to depart one iota. The general knowledge will indeed want to reject that knowledge which surpasses the wisdom of the fathers, but I set no limits and give according to man's spiritual state of maturity. You, my dear child, have been far from any knowledge about things which I have explained to you, and this alone should be enough to recognize a divine rule, because for what man otherwise needs a long time, that has been transmitted to you shortly in the most noble way. And in this certainty, you will also let your faith become that strength, as it is necessary to continue to perform your task as an industrious servant of God. Amen.